Message Canelo, fuck you, bitch.
And your fans?
Stay tuned. November 6th, you're gonna see.
What's going on, you guys? Bushido's Monologue episode 5. And for a majority of this episode, I'm going to be talking about the Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant because there's a lot to talk about. But before we get to that, I want to talk about a few other things, minor news that's happened this week in boxing. I should have waited to do this video, but I'll do a follow-up on Sunday as usual as what's going on with boxing video because we do the Bushido's Monologue during the week, and then on the weekends, usually on Sundays, we're going to do what's going on with boxing, where we kind of just talk about whatever happened during the week or whatever you guys want to talk about. But on this particular episode, we're going to talk about Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant. There's been a lot of shit going on with those two guys. But before we get to that, AJ versus Usyk is this week. Should be a good fight. Usyk seems like he's ready. He's motivated. Shaved his head, all types of shit. Usyk seems like he's ready for war, and he's ready for whatever is going to happen this Saturday night. Anthony Joshua has been looking for speed in this fight with Usyk. It should be a really good fight, interesting fight. We're going to see if Alexander Usyk can really get the job done against one of the top heavyweights in Anthony Joshua. Should be a really good fight. Who I got winning, I really just don't know. Naturally, I'll say AJ, but Usyk don't know how to lose. So we'll see what happens. Then Triller came out and said that they may push the fight back with Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos. Now, as of me making this, doing this monologue, I'm not sure if they did it or not or what they're going to do, but I've seen something to where they say they're going to push it back again. For one, they did a few things wrong. Nobody here in America knows Teofimo Lopez. See, Triller jumped the gun when they hopped on that purse bid trying to get Teofimo Lopez, thinking he's going to be easy to work with. Teofimo Lopez seemed like he's really, really hard to work with on many different fronts. Don't seem like a loyal guy at all either, honestly. But the fight got pushed back again. And, they're looking to push it back again. I'm sorry. I'm not sure if they did or not, but they're looking to push it back again. Where they fucked up at, they put it on a Monday, a pay-per-view fight, a fight that fans got to pay for, a pay-per-view fight that it's on like Fight TV. Like, it's not where you can really just go and it's not like it's on your PlayStation or on your TV service or whatever you got where you can just order it. I'm not sure if he was on that. It's on a Monday. And then you charging people $50 for it. Who's going to pay $50 to see unknown Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos fight on a fucking Monday? A Monday. What is Triller doing? What is Triller doing? Teofimo Lopez should have been fought this guy, George Kambosos. Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion, can't handle the pressure of being a champion. Yeah, that's right. He can't handle the pressure. Every time we see this fucking guy. Think back, people. Back when Devin Haney, you didn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing. Against Gamboa, you didn't do nothing. All this shit, right? Every time it comes a situation to where he has to face one of his rivals, one of the boxing media guys asks him about fighting this guy, he has some punk-ass excuse, or he'll say he'll fight this guy, but this shit never happens. He didn't even fight his mandatory Kambosos yet. Teofimo Lopez can't handle the pressure of being a champion. And this is why I said early on, before he fought Loma, I think it'd be better for boxing if Loma wins. And you hear your boy Bushido say shit like that a lot. It'd be better if Caleb Plant wins. It'd be better for boxing if Caleb Plant wins. You hear me say things like that, and there's reasons why. That's because Lomachenko is ready to be a champion. He's a proven champion. Right? Now, the whole thing with Devin Haney and the WBC putting a franchise tag on him because Bob didn't want Devin Haney getting a fight because he signed with the wrong promoter. That's something different, right? But Lomachenko carried himself like a champion. He didn't say no punk shit on the microphone. Teofimo Lopez can't handle the pressure of being a champion. He can't handle the crosshair being on his back. He's freaking out on the ESPN telecast, all this other shit. Trilla's having a hard time dealing with this dude. ESPN was having a hard time dealing with this dude. Teofimo Lopez just seems like a problem all the fucking together. And honestly, I don't think he's going to be reigning too long. Going up to fight Josh Taylor? Really? Josh Taylor's probably one of the best fighters out of the UK. One of the best dudes in boxing, if you ask me. You don't want to fight Loma again. A guy that you claim you beat, right? I mean, he beat him. Okay, we'll give him that. He beat Loma. Even though I felt Loma, that fight should have been a draw at best. He got the victory. But that's the type of opponent you may want to see again. But see, he didn't want to do it. He just said, you know what? If I had a loss, he wouldn't have gave me a rematch. So I'm not gonna give him one. Just even if that was the case, right? He could have said something like this. Even though I feel that this dude wouldn't have gave me a rematch, you know what? I'm going to give him one anyway. Why? Because I'm better than him. And I'm going to do it again to leave no fucking doubt. But nah, he don't want to do that. He don't want to do that at all. So, yeah, we going to see what happens. George Kambosos also said once he beats Teofimo Lopez that he'll fight Loma in Australia. Oh, he'll fight Loma. He didn't say Australia, but I'm assuming that's where it will likely be. It'll be a big fight over there, pack the house, one of them big stadiums, 60,000, 70,000 people, et cetera, et cetera. George Kambosos said he'll fight Loma. And this is what I said prior to him even saying this, that it'll be best if George Kambosos beats Tio. Why? Because George Kambosos probably move like a real champion. He may not be a long-time reigning champion, but he's going to carry himself like one. He's going to be fighting the best guys available. Why? Because he likely won't have a choice but to fight the best guys available. Some fighters just don't got a choice, right? But Teofimo Lopez, he's shown us to be a real diva up until now. But moving on to Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant. The other day they had a press conference. Things got really, 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 really nasty. You know, the little skirmish was so fast, people didn't find out exactly what really happened till much later on. Caleb Plant swung. It looked like he missed initially. You know, Canelo Alvarez dodged, stepped back, came up with the pull counter right hand. It looked like he punched him and everything, and when you first saw it. But then after hours and people putting up the little clips and shit, you seen what really happened. Caleb Plant did indeed land on Canelo Alvarez. After originally it seemed like he didn't, but he did. And then Canelo Alvarez, from what it seemed like he landed a shot on Caleb Plant, he really just kind of muffed him in his shoulder, it looked like. And Caleb Plant sustained a cut from his glasses. Canelo Alvarez got a gash on his elbow or something like that on his forearm. So what the fuck was that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, but really what it stemmed from, though, right? This is what Canelo said. Canelo came out and said that he was talking about my mom, right? Caleb Plant, as we know, if you follow boxing, Caleb Plant lost his mother to the police. The police gunned her down, right? So Caleb Plant knows better than to talk about somebody's mom. But Canelo Alvarez took major offense to Caleb Plant calling him a motherfucker. Major offense to it. But just about 3 months ago, he was in a press conference, post-fight press conference for fighting Avery Uterman when Demetrius Andrade pulled up Solo Dolo. No, it wasn't Avery Uterman. I'm sorry. Billy Joe Saunders. He pulled up to that fight, Solo Dolo with a shirt on, Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo ducking me. You know, Canelo Alvarez called him a motherfucker. He literally called him a motherfucker. Fuck you and you're a horrible fighter, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. And all this, right? He said these things. But then he got really, really agitated when Caleb Plant called him that, right? He said he was talking about my mom. But what it really came out was he just called you a motherfucker. And that's how people in America talk. Caleb Plant ain't showing Canelo Alvarez no respect. And that's a good thing. Because Canelo Alvarez past several opponents been showing him a little too much fucking respect. And when you hear these guys, you know, boy Bushido pays attention to detail. Even though it may not seem like I do, I really pay attention. And when these guys come out and say, oh, I'm just happy to be here, that is a red fucking flag. Not all the time, but a majority of the time. When these guys say they happy to be here, expect a sparring session to follow. A fight where it looks like the opponent's not really trying to hurt the guy that they trying to get that bag from. Absolute bullshit. But Caleb Plant ain't showing Canelo Alvarez no respect. And for Canelo Alvarez to get so offended by him calling him a motherfucker, I mean, the shit that Billy Joe Saunders was saying to him when they was face to face. I mean, Billy Joe brought up the pay use, the meat, all that, right? He didn't push him, do none of that shit. But when Caleb Plant did it, oh man, he pushed him, pandemonium. It was pandemonium in the ring. Absolute pandemonium, right? But see, it's more than just what Caleb Plant calling him a motherfucker. And Canelo trying to spin it like he was talking about his mom. No, what it really is Caleb Plant was really pressing the issue on this Pez situation. What it really is that Canelo isn't in control of this situation. Why? Because he's fighting on PBC. He is fighting on PBC. That's right. That's Caleb Plant's home. That's Caleb Plant's turf. You think these guys gave Canelo Alvarez $40 million fucking dollars plus pay-per-view just for him to go ahead and beat the guy that they're building up, their white American that they're building up? You gotta be a fucking fool. This is the perfect opportunity for PBC to get Canelo Alvarez for 2 fucking fights. It's a smart business move, and Caleb Plant has all the tools to win that fight. He just got to do the work. This isn't a Golden Boy card where the judges are all Golden Boy, all Hispanic. This isn't a Matchroom card where Eddie Hearn's pandering to Canelo Alvarez after calling him a steroid cheat some months back. This ain't that, right? Him feeding Canelo Euro bums, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This ain't that. This is something totally different. And Canelo Alvarez seemed extremely agitated. We never really seen Canelo Alvarez react this way from his opponents, except for guys like Triple G and Lara. And that leads to my other point. Whenever guys didn't show Canelo Alvarez respect, the fights looked different. The fights didn't look like sparring sessions. The fights actually looked like real fights. The fights actually looked like Canelo Alvarez really had to fight. Landy Lara pulled up on Canelo at the press conference, talking shit, forced Canelo to fight him. Landy Lara forced that fight to the point where Canelo had to fight him. See, but back in those days, it was different. See, if Landy Lara had did that shit today, oh man, the fans would have jumped down his throat. They would have kicked his ass out of boxing. Same thing that they did to Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade tried to pull up on him at the press conference. It just didn't work. It just doesn't work like that today. Boxing fans got soft, all types of shit. It just doesn't work that way. Back in the day, if a champion got called out by a credible challenger, the fans expected that champion to fight this man. But nowadays, nah. Fans will protect that guy. If they feel that their guy possibly can't beat that guy, they'll find a way to protect him and downplay him to a point where that fight won't even happen. That's just the landscape of boxing today, people. But when guys show Canelo Alvarez too much respect, well, we seen sparring sessions. But when they didn't, we saw real fights. And I expect a real fight with Caleb Plant because he ain't showing Canelo Alvarez no respect at all whatsoever. I'm talking about he's probably the most disrespectful guy that Canelo Alvarez has probably faced. Even more so than Triple G. And Triple G had some real bad blood with Canelo. But we saw how those fights looked. Triple G actually came to win those fights. Landy Lara came to win that fight. Floyd Mayweather, well, Floyd coasted that. That was easy work for him. Caleb Plant's going to come to win this fight, people. You got a lot of boxing fans saying Canelo's going to knock him out. I don't see that. Caleb Plant is a pretty big 168 guy. He's not some, flat-footed dude. He's not some battered British fighter. He's not some dude. I think Caleb Plant's going to be ready for the moment. I think he's going to be ready. Now, people say he ain't fought nobody, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes that shit just don't matter. Okay, he didn't fight nobody. Okay, but he's about to fight somebody. Like, boxing fans need to get off that shit. Oh, he didn't fight nobody, but he's about to fight somebody. This is his big break. We're going to see what he's going to really do under the big lights. I think Caleb Plant's going to rise to the occasion. He ain't showing Canelo no respect. And when these guys show Canelo respect, they sit up in there and they lose, get the bag, go home, and then their careers don't never end up being the same. But you got to be a damn fool to think that PBC would get this dude $40 million. $40 million for him to just go up in there, take the belt, take everything they did to build up Caleb Plant and just walk on off right off back to England. That's right, a Mexican dude riding back off to England because that's where he's going to be making his mark at. Beating up on Eurobums, Eddie Hearn's feeding him. You got to be a damn fool to believe that. So if Caleb Plant comes in the fight, all you got to do is do the work. Do the work. Make it look good. Make Canelo look bad. And I think he'll get a fair shake. Why? Because PBC going to want Canelo for another fight. It's not really rocket science. It's kind of like if you've been following boxing for a while, you can kind of see how this thing may play out. Now, we never know how things are going to play out, but you can kind of see how this could possibly play out. This isn't a situation to where Canelo's in control. No Oscar, no Eddie. Canelo's out there alone. And this is why I give Canelo Alvarez a lot of credit for this fight. A lot of boxing fans downplaying Caleb Plant like he ain't shit. I'm giving Caleb Plant a lot of credit. I'm giving Canelo Alvarez a lot of credit. This is a real fight for Canelo. You know, fans want to give him credit for Avery Uterman and Callum Smith and Rocky Fielding, but you want to downplay Caleb Plant? Oh, I get it. It's because the black guys like Caleb Plant, right? It's because Caleb Plant is that what's that word? I don't even want to say the word. You know what I'm talking about. He got the black wife and all that, right? He got the swag, the sauce to him, right? Y'all don't like that. You can't truly identify with him. So you're going to go against him. Right? Should be a really interesting fight. That whole little altercation just made this fight that much interest. That's all everybody's talking about. Nobody even talking about any other fight. Nobody else talking about any other fight right now. This is the fight that everybody's talking about. Caleb Plant, Canelo Alvarez. They did a good job. Some fans say it was staged. I say they did a good fucking job because it got people talking. Is Caleb Plant in Canelo's head? Hell yeah, he is. Abso-fucking-lutely. Caleb Plant ain't showing him no respect. Canelo Alvarez is uncomfortable. Canelo Alvarez don't be pushing guys. Canelo Alvarez don't be cursing and being disrespectful. Of course, I like this new Canelo. But this is not what he does. He's feeling some type of way about the things Caleb Plant was saying. Caleb Plant was saying all types of shit. And this shit is kind of shunned upon in the boxing world, it seems like. It seems like it's taboo to talk about the cheaters and all the assholes, but you guys want to sit here and bash Deontay Wilder for what? Right? But we can't talk about the cheating in boxing. No. But in the same note, you same bastards turn around and say boxing's a dirty sport. It's a dirty game. But then when we see some dirt, and if it's one of our favorite fighters, oh, we don't want to say nothing about it. Oh, no, it's taboo. Don't say that. But see, Caleb Plant put on his Captain America outfit, grabbed the shield, and said, look, you know what? I don't like this dirty shit. And I'm going to go say something about it this whole fucking fight. And he ain't going to do shit about it. You go see me November 6th. Do something then. Right? I can't wait. They did a good job. They did a phenomenal job of getting even your boy Bushido even more hype for the fight. I mean, this fight was probably like the last, I'd say before AJ Usyk. But Wilder Fury, Bud Porter, this fight was probably fourth. But now, shit, it's up there now. It's up there now. It's probably before Crawford Porter, honestly. It ain't before Wilder Fury. That fight has too much behind it. But now, the way they building this thing up, the storyline behind it, just made it that much more interesting. I think it'd be better for boxing if Caleb Plant won. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Hit the dislike button. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, Caleb Plant winning would be better for boxing. Because we need these rivalries. We need these series of fights. This is what makes the sport great. We can't have Canelo Alvarez bouncing around, beating up on Eurobums, getting a shit ton of credit. Canelo Alvarez is a boxer in the sport. One of the few, if not the only, guy that's able to really do what he wants. During the whole pandemic, it didn't affect him at all. It hardly affected him at all. It affected everybody else but him. Canelo Alvarez is a boxer that can fight whoever he wants. There's not nobody in the world that wouldn't fight Canelo Alvarez, whether they felt they could win or not. Why? Because it's too much money on the table not to fight him. Your boy Bushido will fight him right now. I'm getting in shape, too. You go see some results and pictures and videos and shit soon. Your boy about to get nasty. I'll fight Canelo. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'll fight him. Why? Because he's the money man. Who wouldn't fight that motherfucker? Who wouldn't fight him? But a lot of these dudes that go up into these fights with him are just happy to be here. I will be coming to win. I believe Caleb Plant is going to be coming to win. There's no respect. That's the difference between this fight and all the previous fights we've seen from Canelo recently. There's no respect. We haven't seen this disrespect towards Canelo since Triple G. And why I'm still talking about Canelo, because this is what this video could be about, this episode is about, is Canelo and Plant, mostly. But Canelo's fans, man. Let me go ahead and cook on y'all real quick. Yeah, you thought I forgot about you. I've been watching Canelo fans, man. Y'all dudes need to get y'all fucking shit together, man. A lot of you dudes are making Mexican boxing fans look really, really bad. A lot of you dudes coming off as dudes is just saying any damn thing. We lie, we cheat, we steal. We don't care. He's Mexican. We go ride regardless. Okay, that's cool. But don't say nothing to the black guys when they cheering on Deontay Wilder. Don't say nothing to the British guys when they cheering on Josh Taylor or Tyson Fury. You can't say shit. And some of the comments from these guys is just disgusting. I mean, the pro fighters, everybody's really interested in this fight. And cool boy Steph, what's his name? Ain't his name Stephen Fulton? I think his name's Stephen Fulton. Either way, he got attacked by fans, a pro fighter. He said, let's go champ in regards to Caleb Plant. And dudes was calling him monkey, a clown, all types of shit. He addressed the Canelo fans, said, man, these dudes go hard for dude. So all I said was, let's go champ. And they called me a clown, a monkey. I mean, they racist. So if Canelo Alvarez loses, which I think will be the best scenario for boxing, and it's not because I hate Canelo. I don't even hate Canelo. I like Canelo, but I'm just not too happy with him right now. And the reason why I do like Canelo is because his fighting style. I like his fighting style. I like how he has improved over the years. However, there's a lot of controversy surrounding his growth with the PEDs and all this shit, man. His camp testing positive. Guys in his camp. So he's looking really, really suspect over there, man. It's really essentially this fight is Caleb Plant versus corruption. Which side are you on? Caleb Plant versus the corruption. Yeah, I know Canelo fans don't want to hear it. And it seemed like a lot of fans kind of straying away from Canelo a little bit. They're not liking just how things are playing out. And it's really, I think a mass majority of it is Canelo Alvarez fans, man. These Canelo man fans is what they call them, right? These dudes is crazy. This is why guys like Bruce Vain been going hard, Boxing Ego, all these guys been going hard because Canelo fans been going crazy. And I see a lot of real Mexican boxing fans sitting back watching this shit like, man, they making us look bad, man. Don't bunch me with these motherfuckers, man. I know real boxing. I know the jab, the hook, the cross, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 uppercut. Right? Shifting, pivoting, sliding. I know all that. But you see these guys, man. Oh man. I mean, if I had I'm not gonna do no photos and nothing on this. This is the monologue. But just some of the stuff that I've been seeing, oh my God, these guys. They rival the Pacquiao fans, man. Where the real Canelo boxing fans at? Like, I remember Canelo Alvarez had some real boxing fans, but now it seems like it got really, really bad. It makes the Mexican boxing fans look really desperate. Like Canelo Alvarez, the only Mexican fighter. Canelo Alvarez changed the game for Mexican boxing. Just like how Floyd changed the game for boxing. Canelo Alvarez changed it for Mexican boxing. I remember back in the day, man, Mexican fighters, man, I mean, they wasn't scared of black fighters. They fought black fighters. And that's my main beef for Canelo. He don't want to fight fighters on the Western Hemisphere. He don't want to fight nobody black or brown. And there's no disrespect to the white guys or anybody else, but what about everybody else? Oh, well, he fought Danny Jacobs, man. Come on, bro. Really? Danny Jacobs hasn't looked good since Triple G. He's been falling down the hill since. Canelo just stopped him before he reached the bottom. So that don't even fucking count. And it looked like a sparring session, a horrible, forgettable fight. I don't ever even want to think about that fight again. Horrible. He's not fighting guys from the Western Hemisphere. Caleb Plant is the closest thing to a black fighter Canelo Alvarez is going to face. The closest thing. He don't even want to fight Benavidez, a big fight for Mexican boxing. He don't even want to give y'all that. But see, y'all don't care, right? Mexican boxing fans don't. They don't have the integrity or the pride and the warrior mentality like they used to, man. I remember Mexican fight fans was just some of the best in the world. Some of the best in the world. They'll shun. They were shunning Canelo for his bullshit once upon a time. Back when they thought when it was getting bamboozled by Triple G, this Mexicans for Golovkin shit. You know what I'm saying? They was bad. They was on Canelo's ass. They didn't like his behavior. They say he wasn't a real Mexican warrior, et cetera, et cetera. Now it's totally different. And I'm all for people supporting their people. I'm all for it. But we also got to hold their feet for the fight when we see wrong. But there's a Canelo Alvarez can kind of do what he wants. He can say what he wants. He can do what he wants. He's just one of those guys. He can do and say what he wants, and I think he realizes this now. I mean, some of the responses from these Canelo fans has been pretty alarming. Pretty alarming. It makes you kind of stray away from Canelo being a Canelo fan. Like, you dudes really need to get y'all shit together. That's not what Mexican boxing fans used to be. A Mexican boxing fan back in the day would have forced Canelo to fight Andre de Charlo years ago. It wouldn't have been, well, what did he do? He don't deserve a fight, or he ain't fought nobody. It wouldn't have been none of that. Canelo Alvarez would have been fought those dudes multiple times. But see, we're in a whole different age of boxing. Canelo Alvarez is worth a lot of money. He's worth a lot of money. $40 million to fight Caleb Plant. A guy that, quote unquote, never fought nobody. He's getting $40 million for that. So you really, really think that PBC is going to give this dude $40 million for one fight? Now, of course, if he loses, there's a rematch. But for one fight, $40 million, pay-per-view. Caleb Plant got one of the last belts on that side over there for them to have any play in the division. You really think they're going to let them beat their built-up, talented white American fighter and just run off to the sunset? You got another fucking thing coming. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.